Today, we gather to celebrate the launch of our newest ministry. Today, we celebrate the launch of Lift, our Living in Faith Together ministry. Now, before I talk to you about what Lift is, let me take you on a journey from conception to birth. This ministry has been in the planning stages for a little over 2 years. The seed for this ministry was planted when our esteemed leadership started having conversations concerning the tithe of the tithe offerings and how those funds specifically could be used to give back to the community. Thus, the concept of Lift was born. As we entered our first trimester, there was a meeting of community leaders, church leaderships, and members of this church to discuss the community needs. In that think tank, the needs of the people of Anne Arundel County were discussed. There was also a discussion of how we, in particularly FC3, could possibly meet those needs. This list was extensive, but not impossible. As we began our second trimester, the core team was created. At this time, I asked every member of the core team to please stand up. Every member of Lift core team, please stand up. For 2 years, this team has been meeting, gathering, writing, rewriting, revising, so that we could launch this ministry. We had a few false starts, but we didn't want to kick it off until we knew that it was ready and it was right. Amen. You may be seated. This team, those people you saw before you, will streamline the ideas developed by our think tank and figure ways that we as a body could best service the people of our community. One discovery quickly realized was that there are hardworking individuals and families who were struggling to maintain stability because of the excessive cost of living in this county. But many did not meet the criteria set forth by county government to receive any assistance. So after we identified the needs of the community, we, FC3, the Lift Ministry, created criteria based on need, not income. As we entered our last trimester, the ministry began to take shape and have form. We wanted to be sure that the limbs would touch as many people as possible. We wanted to be sure that the eyes would see beyond the situation and the circumstances of how a family came to be in need. We wanted to make sure that the heart was fully developed. And we wanted to make sure that the lungs, the breath of the ministry was viable. We wanted to be sure that we created a ministry that would build a bridge to stability, giving our families a hand up and not a hand out. Today, Lift is born. Now, for those of you who may not remember or who may not have known to begin with, let me tell you what Lift is. Lift is an in-reach outreach ministry where we are working with individuals and families striving to strengthen their standard of living educationally, financially, and spiritually. The program is for those who often exceed the maximum qualifications for other programs, and they are overqualified for assistance from any other government agency. Our goal is to encourage, empower, and engage our families or individuals through financial, educational, or spiritual mentoring. Now let me say this. Don't let your pride stop you from getting the help that you may stand in the need of. This program is completely confidential. Completely confidential. So if you actually need the help, if you are actually interested in the Lift program, don't let your pride stop you from getting an application and at least applying. We are only accepting a few applicants. So please, get your application, fill it out, and get it back to us as soon as you can. Currently, this program is only available to active members of First Christian Community Church of Annapolis. Because as we know, babies don't come with a manual. So we need some time to make sure our baby is up and walking right before we open it up to the community at large. So right now, we can only offer this opportunity to members, active members of FC3. If you have any questions or you want to pick up an application, you can meet me outside at the North X at the beautiful lift table and pick it up right after service. Now, and I got a few things.